Have you ever felt like something inside you is asking for change, but you still haven't found the right direction? Maybe this is the sign you've been waiting for. Before we continue, click like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to ensure this message reaches more people. Now write in the comments, "I'm ready." This simple phrase is not just a comment, it is a commitment to the transformation that God has prepared for your life. If you feel like this message was made for you, stay here until the end, because your journey starts now. Have you ever felt like there is something greater in store for you? If you've made it this far, know that this wasn't a coincidence. God has a purpose for each of us, and His presence at this time is a clear sign that your spiritual journey is about to take a significant leap forward. Everyday life, with its distractions and challenges, often makes us forget the calling that echoes in our soul. But God never forgets. He watches your every step, every choice, and every thought. And when the time is right, He calls us to wake up. This call can come as an inner restlessness, a desire for change, or even as a moment of deep reflection. But the question is, are you ready to listen and respond? Ignoring this calling can keep you stuck in cycles of dissatisfaction, frustration, and stagnation. Many spend their entire lives running away from their true purpose, seeking temporary distractions to fill a void that only God can fill. When God calls you, He is not asking you to abandon everything, but to awaken to what really matters. Every second that passes without you heeding your divine calling is a wasted opportunity to become who you were destined to be. God has a plan for you, but He cannot act without your permission. It is you who needs to take the first step. Open your mind and heart to receive this transformation. The decision to accept this calling is not easy. It requires courage, commitment, and faith. But those who dare to say yes are guided to a path of fulfillment, purpose, and true peace. If you feel that voice inside you, if there is something in your heart telling you that this is the time to change, then don't ignore it. Embrace this call with confidence, as God has already prepared the way. All you have to do is take the first step. If you feel like your life is stuck, that despite your efforts nothing seems to move forward, it's time to look inside and identify what's stopping you from progressing. Often, the biggest obstacles are not in the outside world, but within us. These are negative thought patterns, limiting beliefs, deep-rooted fears and habits that pull us back. God wants you to prosper, evolve, and achieve your mission, but He cannot do this if you are sabotaging yourself. The first step towards transformation is recognizing that there is something that needs to be changed. The problem is that many people prefer to cling to their comfort zones, even when those comfort zones are actually invisible prisons. Fear of change, attachment to the past, and lack of discipline are just some of the factors that prevent a person from growing. The human mind has an incredible power to create excuses to avoid the unknown. I'm not good enough. It's not the right time yet. What if I fail? These are phrases that keep you in the same place. But God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of strength, love, and discipline. He wants you to break those chains and move forward. Breaking through these limitations requires a real commitment. It means leaving behind what no longer serves you, abandoning old patterns and opening yourself up to new possibilities. God has already prepared a path for you, but it takes courage to walk that path. The question that remains is, are you willing to leave what holds you back and finally move forward? If so, know that this is the first step towards a deep and true transformation. The way you see the world defines the reality you live. Many people believe that they are victims of circumstances, that they are trapped in a fixed destiny. But the truth is that your mindset has a direct impact on your future. If you live in fear, doubt, and negativity, your life will reflect exactly that. But if you start to cultivate thoughts of faith, courage, and growth, you will see your reality transform before your eyes. God has given us the power to choose how we respond to situations, and through that choice, we can shape our own destiny. Change starts within you. If you believe you don't deserve prosperity, you will unconsciously sabotage every opportunity that arises. If you believe that you will never be able to change, you will remain stuck in the same habits. Your mind can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. The enemy wants you to remain in a mindset of scarcity, doubt, and fear because he knows that as long as you are trapped in these thoughts, you will not be able to fulfill your purpose. But God wants to renew your mind, open your eyes, and show you that there is a better way. Transforming your mindset is not something that happens overnight, but rather an ongoing process of learning and growth. Start by observing your thoughts and questioning the beliefs that limit you. Replace doubt with faith, fear with action, insecurity with trust in God. As you change your mindset, everything around you will also start to change. God wants you to think big, dream big, and believe that you are capable, because the truth is, you are. Many people pray for change, but few are really prepared to receive it. God has blessings waiting for you, but He can't give them to you if you're not ready yet. Imagine a farmer who plants seeds but does not prepare the soil correctly. Even if the rain comes, the seeds will not grow because the land is not suitable. This also works with divine blessings. Have you done your part to receive what you ask for? Preparation involves more than just wanting something. It involves taking action, developing discipline, and being aligned with God's purpose. If you want prosperity, are you managing what you already have well? If you want opportunities, are you preparing to take advantage of them? If you want a change, are you really willing to change? God does not give blessings to those who are not ready, because He knows that they can be wasted. He patiently waits for you to mature spiritually, so that when the opportunity comes, you are ready to receive it. If you feel that your blessing has not yet arrived, perhaps it is because there is something that still needs to be adjusted within you. Ask for wisdom, seek growth, and prepare. Because when God sees that you are ready, He pours out what was already reserved for you. Within you, there is an immense force capable of shaping your destiny and transforming your reality. This energy can be your greatest ally or your greatest enemy, depending on how you use it. Many waste this strength on empty distractions, momentary pleasures, and destructive habits, without realizing that they are draining their own potential. God has placed great power within you, but it is up to you to choose whether you will channel it towards your growth or disperse it in purposeless things. What you do with your daily energy determines the results you will have in your life. If you feel exhausted, lost, or without direction, it may be because you are investing your energy in the wrong places. Everything you feed grows. If you give your attention to fear, negativity, and distractions, your life will reflect exactly that. But if you begin to direct this strength towards your spiritual growth, to strengthen your faith and develop your discipline, you will see your life take an extraordinary leap forward. God wants you to use this energy to fulfill your purpose, to create, to evolve, to help other people, and to manifest the fullness that He has prepared for you. But this will only happen when you decide to take control and redirect your inner power. The secret to transforming your life lies in the way you manage your own energy. Make choices that strengthen your soul, eliminate habits that weaken you, and commit to a journey of growth. You were not created to live in chaos, but to be a channel of divine light. The question is, are you using your energy to build or to self-destruct? Discipline is not punishment, but rather a divine gift for those who wish to transform their lives. Many seek changes and pray for new paths, but few understand that the first step towards any lasting transformation is the ability to remain firm in their decisions. Without discipline, even the best plans become useless. God gave us the free will to choose between following a path of order and purpose, or getting lost in distractions and fleeting impulses. Discipline is what separates those who only dream from those who truly achieve. It's not about waiting for the right moment, but about creating that moment through constancy and determination. Most people believe that discipline is a form of deprivation, but in reality, it is what gives us true freedom. When you have control over your habits, emotions, and actions, nothing can divert you from your purpose. The problem is that modern society conditions us to seek instant gratification, to avoid any prolonged effort, and to give up at the first difficulty. But all those who have achieved great achievements understand that discipline is the foundation of success. You may want to change your financial, spiritual, or emotional life, but without the commitment to follow a plan and act consistently, nothing will change. The Bible teaches us that even Jesus maintained strict discipline in prayer, teaching, and purpose. He did not stray. He did not allow himself to be carried away by distractions and always followed the path that the Father had marked out. This is the true key to transformation, standing firm, even when circumstances seem challenging. Discipline strengthens your mind, shapes your character, and brings you closer to the destiny God has prepared. The question that remains is, are you willing to pay the price of discipline to live the life you always dreamed of? If so, know that each step taken consistently will bring you closer to victory. Temptation is subtle, sneaky, and often masked as something harmless. It doesn't appear as a big, obvious obstacle, but rather as small concessions that seem insignificant at the moment, but over time completely divert you from your purpose. The enemy knows he can't stop you directly, but he can distract you and make you waste time with what you don't add. If you want to fulfill your spiritual mission, you need to be aware of the pitfalls that come your way. Temptation often manifests as laziness, procrastination, or a victim mentality. You feel like you want to change, but you tell yourself it's not the right time. You want to improve, but you convince yourself that you don't have enough strength. These thoughts are like small cracks that, if not corrected, end up compromising the entire structure of your life. Other times, temptation comes in the form of excesses, whether addictions, toxic relationships, or distractions that steal your energy. At first, they seem harmless, but little by little they drain your strength and take you away from your true essence. God gave us strength and discernment to resist temptations, but this requires awareness and firmness. When you understand that every small choice impacts your destiny, you begin to make decisions that are more aligned with your purpose. Whenever you feel like something is taking your focus away, ask yourself, does this bring me closer or further away from the life God wants for me? The answer will be clear. Resisting temptation is not just about avoiding sin, but about protecting your energy, your vision, and your mission. Are you ready to make this commitment and not allow anything to steal your strength? Few understand the true nature of sexual energy. Many see it as just a physical impulse, a momentary desire to be satisfied. But this energy goes far beyond what most imagine. God has given us this gift as a creative force, capable of generating life, fueling our creativity, and strengthening our connection with Him. When used consciously and sacredly, this energy can boost your spiritual growth and unlock new levels of clarity and purpose. However, when wasted unchecked, it can become a source of weakness, exhaustion, and confusion. The modern world promotes the idea that immediate pleasure should be sought at any cost, without considering the consequences. But those who understand the power of this energy know that it must be directed wisely. Every time you use it impulsively and uncontrollably, you are wasting a powerful resource that could be channeled into something much greater. This energy can be transformed into creative strength, inspiration, discipline, and even a deeper connection with God. Many spiritual leaders throughout history have understood this principle and used this strength to achieve high levels of wisdom and enlightenment. When you begin to see this energy as a divine gift and not just a physical impulse, your relationship with it changes completely. You begin to direct it towards your growth, strengthening your mind, your discipline, and your spiritual connection. God wants you to have control over your own impulses, because He knows that this self-control will lead to a much fuller and more meaningful life. The question is, are you willing to transform this energy into something bigger and more powerful? Celibacy is one of the most powerful paths for those seeking a deep connection with God. However, this practice is often misunderstood, seen as repressive or unnecessary. But the truth is that celibacy is not about deprivation, it is about direction. It allows you to focus your energy on your spiritual evolution without being constantly influenced by the body's desires. Many of the great spiritual figures in history adopted this practice, as they understood that it releases incredible strength to achieve a greater purpose. When you choose celibacy, you are making a powerful statement. You place your spiritual growth above worldly distractions. This does not mean rejecting your own nature, but rather learning to govern it. Society teaches that the satisfaction of physical desires is essential to happiness, but the chosen know that there is much greater joy in discipline and the pursuit of truth. Those who master this force become leaders, visionaries, people with a clarity and presence that few can achieve. The energy that would be wasted on momentary pleasures is now directed towards creating, building, and evolving. You feel more vitality, more creativity, and a deeper connection with your essence. Celibacy is not a burden, but a path to liberation. Are you ready to understand this truth and take control of your own energy? All the energy you carry within you has a destination. It can be wasted on empty distractions, doubts, and habits that weaken your mind, or it can be redirected into something great, aligned with the purpose God has for you. The problem is that many people live without awareness of this internal force, letting their impulses and emotions dominate them. God did not create us to be slaves to fleeting desires, but to be masters of our own energy, using it to grow, transform, and impact the world around us. Imagine everything you could accomplish if all your energy was channeled into your mission. If, instead of spending hours on distractions, you invested that time in learning, spirituality, and growth. If instead of letting negativity drain your strength, you converted it into motivation to become stronger. This is the key to true transformation, learning to direct your energy consciously. Successful people, both in the spiritual and material worlds, have understood this principle and applied it in their lives. They don't waste their time and strength on what doesn't add up. They invest in something bigger, something that will bring lasting fruit. The question is, where is your energy being invested today? What is occupying your time, your mind, and your heart? If your actions are not aligned with the purpose you feel within yourself, then it is time to change. God has already placed within you everything you need for an extraordinary life, but it's up to you to decide where to direct your strength. Choose wisely, as your energy is the fuel of your existence. Do you want to waste it or use it to build something eternal? Distraction is one of the most subtle weapons that keep people away from their true purposes. In a world full of notifications, empty entertainment, and too much information, it's easy to lose focus and stray from the path God has laid out for you. The greatest danger lies not just in big temptations, but in small daily distractions that slowly steal your energy, your determination, and your faith. Every moment spent on something that doesn't build is one less moment invested in your growth. Many people spend their lives postponing their dreams and purpose because they are constantly involved in activities that add nothing to their destiny. Social networks, idle conversations, addictions, and irrelevant worries drain your strength without you realizing it. The problem is that these distractions don't seem threatening. They masquerade as leisure, rest, or things everyone does. But before you realize it, months and years have passed, and your life remains stagnant. While you are busy with distractions, your purpose is waiting to be fulfilled. God does not want you to live a life of waste, but rather a life of impact and fulfillment. To do this, you need to develop the ability to say no to what does not contribute to your evolution. Every minute you spend should be an investment in your future. Ask yourself, is this activity bringing me closer or further away from the person I want to be? If the answer is no, it's time to cut. Focus is a powerful tool. Use it to build, grow, and transform your life. Whoever dominates his own attention dominates his own destiny. Self-control is one of the greatest virtues a person can develop. Those who cannot control their impulses, their emotions, and their desires end up being slaves to external circumstances. The world is full of people who let themselves be carried away by momentary desires and then suffer the consequences of hasty choices. But those who learn to govern themselves become masters of their own destiny. People often associate self-control with repression, but this is a wrong view. True self-control does not mean denying your desires, but rather learning to direct them intelligently. It's knowing when to act and when to wait, when to speak and when to remain silent, when to move forward and when to retreat. People who have self-control are not easily shaken by provocations. They do not waste their energy on things that are not worth it, and they do not make decisions driven by the emotion of the moment. They live with purpose and conscience. The Bible teaches us that a man without self-control is like a city without walls, vulnerable and defenseless. This means that without self-control, you are exposed to all kinds of negative influences. But when you learn to govern your emotions, your desires, and your impulses, your life becomes an unshakable fortress. The question is, are you in control of your life, or are you being led by circumstances? If you want to achieve something great, start by mastering yourself. The desires that exist within you are not accidental. God has placed aspirations in your heart that can guide you to a path of growth and fulfillment. However, many get lost because they don't know how to turn these desires into something productive. Instead of using them as fuel for purpose, they let them become distractions, or worse yet, sources of guilt and frustration. The key to a balanced life is learning to channel your energy into what really matters. Many people have intense cravings but don't know what to do with them. They want to grow, they want to prosper, they want to feel fulfilled, but they end up wasting this energy on momentary pleasures that do not bring lasting satisfaction. When you learn to align your desires with your spiritual purpose, something extraordinary happens. Your energy multiplies, your mental clarity increases, and you feel a deeper connection with God. What once seemed like an internal battle becomes an inexhaustible source of motivation and growth. The secret is in the intention behind each desire. Ask yourself, does this desire bring me closer or further away from the life I want to build? If it is something that strengthens your faith, your discipline, and your purpose, then it must be cultivated. But if it is something that weakens you, then it needs to be transformed or eliminated. Your desire can be a great ally if channeled correctly. The power is already within you. You just need to use it in the right way. Many people live waiting for the right moment to act, but the right moment never arrives. They say they will start tomorrow, next week, next month, but they are still stuck in the same place. Procrastination is a silent trap that destroys dreams, steals opportunities, and prevents you from reaching your potential. The greatest enemy of your destiny is not a lack of talent, nor a lack of resources. It is a lack of action. Procrastination is driven by fear and insecurity. You fear not being ready, you fear failing, you fear what others will think. But the truth is, no one is ever quite ready to take a big step. The secret of successful people is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. If you keep postponing your decisions, you will never see progress. Time waits for no one, and every day wasted is a wasted opportunity to build something great. If God has placed a purpose in your heart, it is because you already have everything you need to get started. You may not have all the answers yet, but clarity comes with action. What can you do today to get closer to your goal? The first step may be small, but it's what breaks the cycle of procrastination and puts you on the right path. Your life won't change by chance. It will change when you decide to make it happen. Now that we have walked this journey of learning and reflection, one final question remains. Are you ready to accept your calling? God does not force anyone to follow the path of evolution. He only extends the opportunity. But it's up to you to decide whether you will embrace it or stay in the same place. What you have learned so far cannot be ignored. You felt something inside you awakening, a voice whispering that this is the time to act. Now the choice is in your hands. Following a path of transformation requires courage. It requires you to break old habits, abandon limiting beliefs, and take responsibility for your destiny. It's easier to continue living on autopilot, waiting for something magical to happen. But those who accept the call don't wait. They create their own reality with faith, discipline, and action. If you want a new life, you need to take a new attitude. The first step is always the hardest, but it is also the most powerful. The time for waiting is over. The time to act is now. God has already prepared the way. He has already placed everything you need within you. Now all that's left is your decision. Are you going to keep putting it off, or are you going to take the first step? The choice is yours, and the future that awaits you depends on it.